morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday morning after spring break.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Well, welcome back, Cameron, right? I mean, we kind of miss you. Did you take spring break off?
Oh, if only I could have done that, Ryan. No.
Yeah, it was me and my counterpart, my co-host,
Yes.
Logan Cup last week. And we certainly did miss you, though. We surely did miss your voice and your spunk and your life and your energy.
Hey, I missed you guys. I was excited about Logan being on the podcast finally because he's an avid listener. But he did a fantastic job. I watched some, and you guys are like the new dynamic duo.
Well,
I think I'm replaced because he's just so charismatic.
I don't know. I think, we get Logan on a show, and, he can take it over. So we're just going to.
That's true. That's true.
He can talk for sure. And we appreciate him sharing all his insights and his wisdoms and all the things that he's a part of and that he's doing. I think we're going to end up talking a little bit about him on this episode as well.
For sure.
In some later segments. But anyway, welcome back.
Thanks. Welcome back, all faculty. We had a very interesting spring break.
Was it now?
Yes, I think everybody was like catching up, So I think everybody had a chance to really catch up and refresh. I know a lot of people who also took off staff and were able to go out of town, get some fresh air and all that good stuff. So, and there was a bunch of y'all who went to a conference too. So
yes, Momentum 3. We are learning how to better serve our students through curriculum redesign, which was awesome. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk a little bit about that
for sure.
In case you missed it.
Oh yeah. We got a great picture to show y'all from that, and we also have a busy week ahead of us. So we're just gonna have no feature today. We're gonna dive into all the great things coming up, a few things that happen that you might have missed.
The morning blend espresso.
Oh yeah.
But first, you posed an interesting question for our question of the day, and for all our listeners, I want y'all to think about this too. The question is, tell us, Cameron, so I don't mess it up.
What is your most prized possession?
Hold on. What is your most prized possession? Where does this question come from, Cameron? Can you explain the genesis of this? Were you just like, on your travels last week and thought, this would be a good thing? Or maybe this weekend you were thinking,
This weekend, for sure. Last night I was, getting some stuff together, and it's so hard to think of questions of the day when we've been doing this for, it's been like a year and a half, something like that, almost 2 years of us doing this. So it's hard to come up with original questions, but this is something like people will say this is my most prized possession, right? So it's kind of like a common phrase people use. But it made me think, do we really have a most prized possession? Because we have, our wedding rings or our marriage license or our house, things that are really the most important things in life. But I'm thinking more of you remember we have that collector's question, what do you collect?
Oh yeah, that's
something not like it can be like a memorable object, nostalgia. It could be something you created, just something that's really important to you that you would never throw away. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with this question.
Yeah, that was a tough one for me because when I read it, I'm thinking, man, what do I do? I'm one of those folks that I can be a pack rat at times, and then I can throw away things really quickly if I haven't used them in a while. So it was kind of like, what do I really value? And of course, there's the existential question that comes up, which is do we really own anything? Can we really possess anything, right? But if there was one thing that I think about and I look at often as I'm traipsing across the house, I ran my one and only half marathon. That's 13.1 miles for those of y'all that have never done that before.
13.1 miles.
This was many, I say maybe 7 years ago or something like that.
My gosh.
Yeah, maybe 8 years ago. I was feeling like I need to do something cool.
Yeah.
I had run 5Ks and I thought, surely I can just step in and do a half marathon. That's,
easy.
3 miles to 13.1 miles. Right?
Just 10 more miles tacked on there.
So what's interesting about that is the Log Jammer in Shreveport. It happens every year. And I go out there with very little training, and I'm doing my 5K thing, and I'm just having a good old time thinking I'm ruling the world. I'm passing up all these folks, and I'm like, slowpoke, what's wrong with you? Oh, hey, how's it going? And I'm just feeling
You're like,
myself.
Who are these people?
Yeah. Oh, it was fantastic. I'm thinking I'm gonna just destroy the competition. I'm gonna do better than I ever thought I ever could. And then right around miles 5 or 6, yeah, the train started coming off the tracks. The wheels started falling off.
Here we go.
and I started getting a cramp in one of my legs. And some of the people that I had passed up earlier were like, "Are you okay? Like, can I help you? Do you need help?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just feel a little twinge. It's okay." So anyway, long story short, my first, I don't know, 5 or so miles, I was blistering pace. I was excited.
Yep.
And then everybody that I had passed up in miles 1, 2, and 3 passed me up at mile 7. And I'm starting to walk a lot more. I think I almost had like a nervous breakdown in the midst of all that, thinking I'm not going to make it. By mile 10, I'm cramping really bad, really bad. I didn't have any understanding of, what to drink or what to eat, or anything
Pacing
like
yourself.
Nothing. So I finally made it. Those of you that do run, please don't laugh at me. 2 hours and 45 minutes later. I think
that's long. That's a shorter time than I would have had.
13.1 miles. So what do you get? The moral of the story is this. What do you get? You get, as part of the log jammer, you get a medal. And it's like a nice big medal that says LJ log jammer with a little woodchuck or squirrel or whatever it is, a beaver on there, right?
I love it.
I will forever value and cherish and appreciate that log jammer medal that I got because that was hard earned, and it also was a lesson to me to not go into things unprepared.
I like it. Look, wow, that is an amazing story, right? And you finished. You made it through. And that's what's really important. So
well, right. Some people will say, showing up is the most important thing. And that is true. But, yeah, it wouldn't have made any sense unless I finished. So I appreciate you giving me a little kudos for that.
That is awesome. I love how your item is like what it represents. It wasn't, you getting first place in something. It was more of just like you learned a lesson and you also finished something. Like you faced adversity and you pushed through it. So I love
more like stupidity when I look back. Oh, so wait, here's the postscript, okay?
Okay.
For the viewing audience, the postscript is that after the race is done, of course, I'm like dog tired. I have to drive an hour back home, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask anybody, I get home, I crawl into bed, and I lay there the rest of the day. And that night, as my body tries to figure out what exactly was I thinking
Were
with
you
this
running
whole
from
half
zombies?
marathon.
What was going on?
So it was, and then I was sore for many, 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 many days after that. So again, don't do any crazy half marathons or marathons unless you've trained appropriately for them.
I love it. Yeah. This is a PSA, everybody. Everyone who's listening.
Now, Joe, I need Joe Lane to come on the show and explain, what I should have done.
How to do a marathon, because he knows what's going on there. So
now that I've taken 15 minutes of everybody's time explaining my triumph and failure
we
all
needed
at the same
to
time.
know. We needed to know.
What is your most prized possession?
So and I'm doing this again. Besides my wedding ring and my marriage license, all that is more important than this. Obviously, all like our cats, all those things are more important than this. But my most prized possession and something that I'm very proud of that I will never throw away is something I made in art school. So I made this painting.
Wait a minute.
In art school, and it's an oil painting. So I'd never painted with oils before that class, and the whole thing was, a first time for me. And so we obviously worked up to this through different studies and still lifes and all that. And this was our final, is to do a still life. And I don't know how I came up with this idea. I forgot. But I took the picture at my parents' house, and it's based off a photograph that I took. And I put so many hours in this thing, over 20 hours probably, painting this. And now it hangs in my kitchen because it's food. So
wow. Oh my goodness. Are y'all seeing this? That looks like SpaghettiOs or Chef Boyardee or something in that mug.
Alphabet soup. So yeah, I worked really hard on it. It was the first thing I painted so realistically that it looked like
I actually thought
real,
I was looking at a legitimate picture. I mean, I didn't look up at the microwave as much as I was focused on what was on the foreground.
Right.
It actually is pretty sharp. Yeah, Matt Napper just piped in and says that's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
He's appreciating the art as well. Yeah, that's nice.
I used to be, I guess I still am an artist, but anyway, I this is my most prized possession, and I love to keep it in my kitchen because food related. It also has a deeper meaning. just kind of like the help and the kind of a feeling of, loneliness and all that. It's a bunch of depressing stuff we don't have to get into. But
you were feeling those kind of vibes at that time, right?
Yeah. But I want to point to the container, the Ziggy container. So I still have this, and I eat soup out of it still. So
this is based on real life.
Based on real life.
You have an actual soup bowl or soup mug.
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
So I love this thing. It's probably my favorite piece of art I've ever done. I will never sell it. I'll never give it away, because usually I do sell and, give away my art and stuff. But this one I will keep forever. So.
Shameless plug for you. Anybody who's interested in Cameron's art should go to www.cameron.com.
Don't go there. I don't know what's there. You guys.
And buy some art from Cameron, okay? Because apparently she sells it.
Oh, my gosh.
Seriously, though, I don't know. I think... $10,000, that's not enough?
Oh my God, no, not that. This thing is probably worth like $5, but with the materials and everything. But yeah, it was fun to do, and it proved something. It was kind of like a lesson to me. It proved that I could do it, that I could render something realistically. Because I had done it in drawing, but I'd never done it in painting, so it was a hurdle.
Put it back up on the screen for everybody to look at one more time. For those that are just joining, we appreciate all the viewers coming in. Again, the question was, what is your most prized possession? And a painting, which is very real life type of painting that Cameron did, is hers. I had to put it back up one more time. And if we're going to look at the symbolism, and you were talking about all the depressing stuff, the HELP is there, but notice that it's tenuous, right? Because it's floating. At any point, any one of those letters could just fall back below the surface. Ooh, right?
Yep.
More stuff to talk about.
And then Ziggy also has help in his bowl. So there's also a little sense of humor there that we were trying to go for.
Man, that's deep. Okay, deep on a Monday morning.
Yeah. Let's deep in the soup, I guess.
Yeah, really. Hey, it's the morning blend, sipping the latest with the greatest.
Heck yeah. Y'all tune in with your prized possessions. We want to know.
In the chat, right? Matt, we want to know what's your most prized possession. Stephanie Wilkes, I know that you watch the show a lot. What's your most prized possession?
Yep.
Logan, you were on the show last week. You better be listening.
You better.
What's your most prized possession? All the folks that typically, where's Rhonda? Where's Rhonda Lindsay been?
I don't know.
I mean, she's like a super listener since day one.
Yeah.
What's your most prized possession, Rhonda? We want to know. Put it in the chat or text one of us.
Y'all got our number. All right. We're going to run into our news segment. We got a lot coming up this week.
Let's go. We got you. It got me too, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, one day we're going to switch and I'm going to get you, Ryan. That's just right. For the heck of it.
I'm not ashamed. I was doing all this earlier today.
Oh, yeah. We have the music. Oh, so, okay, speaking of music, National Library Week.
Is it really?
It is. Today, till Friday, is the National Library Week.
I have a question.
Okay.
So I woke up and I'm looking at my calendar and I'm trying to figure out all the things, right, that are coming up. And National Library Week is a thread throughout the week. Like every day it's popping up, National Library Week. I was like, how did that get on my calendar? Because I know I didn't put it there. Okay, anyway, so there it goes. Again, I'm blaming somebody in LRC for this one.
Hey, everybody should know it's the National Library Week, and they're just doing their due diligence, right? And so we have events all this week at LDCC Monroe today, which this is a Logan event too, High Tech Humanities with Dr. Scott Higginbotham.
Dr. Scott.
In the ATC. Dr. Scott, yes. He will be there talking about humanities. They did the same thing last year with Doug Sangster, right?
Yes,
so he did an amazing job, and we're looking forward to another amazing job by Dr. Scott.
Dr. Higginbotham, that has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
It does.
I want to say that he started this conversation at let me put myself back on screen. An event that I hold near and dear, the BTech Mini Conference, in the December, right? And he talked about AI and its impact on literature and English and all the things that are upcoming. And so I want to say he's continuing that conversation in this discussion. So again, today, 12 noon in the auditorium, High Tech Humanities presents Literal Genius, AI versus Literature with Dr. Scott Higginbotham. And you should know, as with every great event on campus, on any of our campuses, there's going to be what?
Food. Food.
Yes, food. Today, it's going to be something I want to say simple. You know, it's not easy to make necessarily. I mean, you got to have all the right ingredients, but I mean, it's something that we just hold and we cherish, right? And that is our pizza.
American treasure.
Really? National treasure. Yes, absolutely. So y'all come out and make sure you get some free T-shirts and free pizza. This is open to students, staff, faculty at high noon. Be there or be an AI bot.
And here's the cool flyer as well with actual AI art to match the theme.
Look at that. That's actually kind of cool.
Had to throw that up there.
Thank you. Wow. And RSVP with the QR code.
Heck yeah. Okay. Library Week continues. You would think that would be enough to celebrate Library Week
satisfied.
because it's cool.
Yeah, that's it.
But listen, Tuesday.
What? No way.
10 a.m.
Get out of here.
Make your mark. They're going to create bookmarks. This is sponsored by the Focus Club in the LPB Commons, and it's like a crafting session where you can make your own bookmark. And those readers, those bookworms out there, if you will, which we should all be. We should all be avid readers.
That's right.
Come make your mark.
Okay, Cameron. Speaking of avid readers, oh yeah, you're on screen now. We're gonna make a close up of you, okay? When's the last time you actually read a book?
Oh my gosh.
You're on the hot seat.
It was recently. It was. What was I reading? My friend wrote a book. And I'm about to tell him myself. She'll probably never see this. But she wrote it like a year and a half ago. And I'm still reading it because I just... You know how I am, right? I go through books and then I'm like.
You've had the book for how long? We started it a year and a half ago.
A year and a half ago. Yeah, I'm still working my way through. I'm actually almost finished. So, Mandy, if you ever see this, I am about to send you a review for your book. And I'm very proud of you. It's
Mandy,
a great book.
You've already written 3 other books since then. It's not gonna happen.
She's already working on her second one, but I am going to finish it. I was reading that this week. So that was the most recent book that I've actually read out of.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I can't lie. Like, I do the same thing. I pick up books and then I put them down. I pick them up and put them down.
Yep.
I do know. I have a good friend. She just like can read.
Blows through
you ever have those friends that you know that just read like 18 books a month?
Yes.
And you're like, how do you do that? Like, but yeah. I have a good friend that really knows how to read. And takes pride in that, you know, like just is voracious. And anybody who's out there that is a voracious reader, like, kudos to you because you're something special. And I'm trying to be on that same train.
Me too. That is 2025. We should be readers.
For those of y'all that read, and even if you don't read and you want to try to read or you want to, you know, spark that flame, come on out and let me put the graphic back up.
Make
bookmarks.
Yep.
And it's now this says Tuesday 10 a.m. in the LPB Commons, but then it says 12 to 2.
It's 10 a.m.
Is it 10 a.m.? Okay, great.
Yep. And Wednesday.
Wow, you really you slid past that. I want to make sure everybody knows 10 a.m. in the comments.
10 a.m. It's in the week at a glance too at the 10 a.m. time. So, but yeah, those who don't read, those who maybe don't prioritize reading, but you like to dance, take pictures, have fun, have a good time. They will have a silent dance party with Bayou Beats on Wednesday. So every day of the week we're hitting this week, folks. And you can take pictures with your friends. That's sponsored by the SGA. And that'll be in the LPB Commons too.
So I hate to, it's like spoiler alert, right? I asked about this dance club thing, right?
Okay.
The silent dance party, right? So do you know what that is for you? You're going to put some headphones on and you're going to listen to music. But here's the thing, right? You get to pick the track. There's like a few different stations. I didn't know this. I thought everybody's listening to the same thing. So some of us may be listening to you know, and doing one of these numbers, right?
Yeah.
You may have somebody else that's listening to like classical and doing some lyrical interpretation and they're twirling around, right?
Yes.
And I don't know what the third station would be. But don't look at, you just don't judge, right? When you see this mass of people dancing at different beats, it's not that, you know, we don't have any rhythm.
Right.
It's just that everybody might be listening to something different.
Yep. So heads up, you guys.
But still, you know, it's all beauty, it's all art, it's all a vibe.
Do you remember us having anything like that at LACC?
No, I don't.
I love it.
And I'm loving it too. Where is it going to be? Is it in the
LPB
Commons? That's going to be a hoot.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I'm going to have to make sure I come into the Commons to get my bookmark done.
Yep.
Because I need to read more. I might make 3 bookmarks, right? Just to make it, you know, special, and then to do this as well, this dance off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Library week.
But look, I'm only going to be down there for like 5 minutes for one song, right? So like if you don't catch me, like don't ask me to come back downstairs.
I'm going to be like, Ryan, when are you going? I got to get a picture of you.
I mean, personally, I think my best moves come, in the interstitials between each segment, the feature, and then in case you missed it, we're doing like this.
Yeah, we're deep in the podcast.
Right.
And we're
so
vibing.
That's my best move right there. It's this one and it's this, right?
Yeah, hands in the air.
But y'all come out and check it out and enjoy yourselves, because that's the point of it, all right? We just want to have a good time.
And then Thursday, the last day, drop everything and read day. Go to the library, find a spot, snuggle up with a good book, and just read all day. So unless you have class, then go to class. But other than that, you can read all day.
Frank Boone, if you're listening, I'm going to be doing my part for this day. So if I'm not in my office, you know where to find me, curled up in a chair,
in the
reading
corner,
a good book.
Yep, I love it. So they've gone all out for National Library Week. This is awesome. Kudos to Stephanie and her team for making this awesome stuff happen this week. We're going to cover it all. We're going to have pictures and just celebrate.
When you read on Thursday, because I know, I'm going to be texting you and like, hey, you better join me, right? Since we made a big fuss about this.
Right.
I remember as a kid in the library, and I'm pulling out stuff like Clifford the Big Red Dog, and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, I've graduated from that, so I'm going to have
Junie
to.
B. Jones.
Yeah, right. I'm going to think, do better. You know?
The fun fact about me, I read Junie B. Jones until like the 5th grade. Very embarrassing.
Okay, last thing, and then we're going to move on. So my daughter. I used to, like, on Saturdays, when we'd have to do chores, but she was maybe a little too young. She always was a good reader, but she was too young to really help out, or we didn't make her help. She would read Junie B. Jones to me as I was doing chores. It was the greatest thing ever.
Precious. Oh, my gosh.
That's a memory. See, you talk about things you're going to hold on to.
Yeah.
That's a possession I'll always keep, is her reading to me while I was, like, cleaning the kitchen or
something.
something.
That is so cute.
Y'all don't cry. Don't cry on me.
I'm crying. I'm not crying. You're crying. Oh, my gosh.
Crescencio Jackson also chimed in and said, hey, everybody, it's going to be a great day for High Tech Humanities. He's providing cover for Logan, saying that Logan was not able to type in anything about his prized possession because he's working on that.
Hey, we should have known. That's on us, Logan. We should have known you were busy.
Yeah, but Crescencio, thanks for listening, and thanks for tuning in. And also, we expect to see you at all the library events this week. Yes,
yeah, all of them.
Matt, since you chimed in, we know you're at work. We expect to see you today. Yes. Everybody else who's not chiming in, but I can see all the concurrent viewers up here. You make sure you come to the events. Okay.
Heck yeah. All right, this morning, if you watch the news, you might have seen our very own Patience Tally on the news talking about this event, the Jackson Parish Youth Career Expo at the Jonesboro Community Center. So Louisiana Delta Community College is a sponsor for this event, and they're going out to help recruit for our students, right? So this is great for Jonesboro to bring just kind of the youth all in one place so that they can know all the opportunities that happen in Jonesboro that are just right at their fingertips, especially Delta programs. There's a free brown bag supper also provided for all attendees. So this is tomorrow night from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Jonesboro Community Center, which is on Industrial Drive, so it's really close to our LDCC Jonesboro. So please come out and encourage anybody in the area that if they have kids, let them know, hey, there's going to be a lot of people there to share the opportunities that are available.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Jonesboro, y'all come out, support, of course, the Ruston Jonesboro campus is always doing things. Seems like every episode there's a mention of something going on in the Ruston or Jonesboro area. This time, Jonesboro getting their shine. I'll put the graphic back up for those of y'all that missed it one more time. Jackson Parish Youth Career Expo, that is tomorrow from 5 to 7. So those that we all have things going on during the middle of the day, school and work, but now this is something that's happening in the evening. So maybe grab a snack before you head on over there and just see what it's all about. It's going to be a great time.
And speaking of, being shown resources and knowing what's available near you, these resource fairs continue throughout the spring semester. These are coming from the Office of Student Retention and the Office of Recruitment. So Julie Salter, Elizabeth Ford, they have been rock stars making sure every campus gets a resource fair. And the one happening this week is in Bastrop from 10 to 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday. So there's going to be multiple organizations there to show what's available in the area to help students, resources that they need to help them, to get them through school or just to help them in life, because life things happen, right?
Yes,
I mean,
they do.
and,
They do.
Hey, maybe this week you need an extra box of food to, keep your family fed, or maybe, you have some mental health struggles that you would need to someone to talk. There's all kinds of resources at these fairs that you'll be able to get information on and use in your toolbox to help you get you through school.
And what's great about this event is I believe this event was held on the Monroe campus. It's been held on other campuses, and yet we're moving it along to serve our different constituents in the various regions that we serve. So if you're in the Bastrop area, or even if you're not, and you just want to come check things out, I mean, there are opportunities and resources available to you. Great graphic, by the way. I love the puzzle pieces.
Oh, yeah. That's Julie Salter. I can't take credit for this one,
look
actually.
out.
So, yep, Julie Salter did that.
All right.
Next, we have 2 Spring Nights Fests this week, and I'm going to mention them both with this one graphic. So this one's West Monroe, and that's on Wednesday from 11 to 2. So our Spring Nights Fests happen all the time around spring break every year, and each campus tries to host one. So this one, they'll get a T-shirt, and the cool thing is that our T-shirts for these events match across campuses.
Really?
Yes.
See, that's unity right there. That's one Delta.
Exactly.
We're talking one Delta, y'all.
One Delta.
I like this little flower power vibe we got going on here too.
Yes, I've been, everybody who's asked me for a Spring Nights Fest graphic, I've used the same format because we're one Delta, right? And it's also, anti-hazing. They'll pass out some flyers for that, but it's food, fun. West Monroe usually gets big games and stuff to play, and and then Winsboro is also having theirs this Friday.
Oh wow!
Which will be, let me look at my paper, at 11 a.m. So they usually get like a food truck and pass out T-shirts. So if nothing else, we're gonna eat, right?
So I have a question. First of all, thank you for bringing on the unity for all of us, right? Cameron Price Thompson doing her part, right? Single-handedly unifying all the campuses through graphic arts and T-shirts, right?
Yeah,
I had to say
just
something
a flyer.
Like that. Relax. Okay, but if I go to the West Monroe campus, right, and I partake, I get a T-shirt there.
Yep.
Then if I go to Winsboro, do I get a T-shirt there?
No.
What? Nobody's going to know.
There's a limited amount, Ryan.
But I'm doing my part to make sure there's no leftovers, right? And clothe my family at the same time. So I'm getting different sizes at each one. Okay. I'm just kidding.
You just told on yourself.
I
That's
did,
what
didn't
you
I?
did.
Hey,
Yep.
at least I'm honest.
Dr.
Right?
Thomas, come get him.
No.
Come get him.
No. I didn't. Okay. Graphic back up.
Back to it.
Woo.
That was a close one, Ryan.
Yeah, really. Can
next.
we delete that from the episode? What I just said.
We're live, unfortunately. The OER Championship Spotlight is next. And hey, this is actually kind of a part of Library Week, too.
Is it
because
really?
It's from the LRC. This is a virtual awards ceremony that Logan has planned to put on, and the entire library has helped for sure.
Logan Cup.
Yes, he's a busy guy. They're going to be spotlighting 5 individuals who have done amazing work in OER at our college. So tune in to find out who they are and, give them their kudos, their virtual applause for getting that award and those accolades.
I'm hoping that this is also in the week at a glance, because since I'm actually on the show right now, I don't have time to scan the QR code, but I would like to RSVP and check it out.
It's in the week at a glance.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I mean, why would I? How could I doubt you? Right? Yeah.
I'll double check to make sure. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I think I did put this in here. I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, it should be under the news section in Week at a Glance. So definitely RSVP so you can come out and support those 5 individuals, because everybody knows who they are.
Going above and beyond, right? This is extra duties as assigned kind of thing, volunteering to do this kind of work. And it's important work to move OER forward, not only for ourselves at the college, but also for the state and beyond. So congratulations to those who took on the charge.
Absolutely. Speaking of extra duties, SGA officer applications and campus senators are out right now. The deadline is this Wednesday. So if you want to run for office, get in your application to the SGA. That's going to be Dr. Thomas, the contact for that. And then they're going to hold elections next week. So we'll talk about that on the next podcast.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like we just got some new officers, and yet here we are. We have another opportunity. These terms go by really fast, and if there's something that you want to do that increases your visibility on campus and allows you to just do more and give back to the college, then SGA, if you're a student, SGA is the way to go. Not to mention in these applications, but there's also opportunity for faculty and staff. And you got to talk to Dr. Thomas because I don't want to speak for her on this, but I know that there are usually opportunities for advisors to be a part of SGA as well if this is something that interests you. So, we're electing new officers and senators, but also I think that there's always room for those that want to just give more to student life.
Yep.
That you have an opportunity as faculty and staff to jump on that train as well and to be involved in SGA. They do lots of things not only on our campus but also around the state. There's trips that they take. They travel a lot. Chaperones are welcome, right? So,
yeah.
And guides, and then you'll learn something, and you get while you're on those trips, and you also get to shake hands with some of the big wigs at the system office and the Board of Regents too. So yeah, come on out.
Yep.
I mean, it's for everybody.
And it's also good for our other campuses to be represented, right? So if you're an advisor, you might want to be an advisor, representing the West Monroe campus or the Jonesboro campus. Dive in and get involved because we need representation from all of our campuses through the SGA.
The work is multi-layered, but it's important. All of the work that we do at all levels is important at our college.
Amen. Hallelujah. Next, we have there's a press release that's going to come out this week about our LPN apprenticeship program because applications got reopened miraculously. We are so excited. In summer of 2025, this is a really cool program. It's a lot like the teacher apprenticeship program that Ashley worked on, where students are being able to work, get paid while they're in school and earning their LPN. So the applications are open. If you know somebody who's ready to take that next step, maybe they're a CNA right now, maybe they're a patient care technician, and they're wanting to get, take that next step. This is it. This is the way to do it while you can still, earn that living. And, especially for people who maybe have families, kids who don't have a whole lot of time to do school and work and take care of things at home. This is a way you can kind of combine some things and help out your schedule and, your financials. So
can we talk just for a second about the need for an application process in these specialized programs? Because that we're an open admission institution. All of y'all, if you didn't know, that's what we are about. But there are some specialized programs that are out there. There are some programs that require you to take an additional step because there's a certain additional level of rigor. It's a little bit more challenging. We're looking for the best of the best. And if you're one of those in that number, if you're one of the brightest that want to take on the challenge, in this case of becoming an LPN student, this isn't for the faint of heart. There are people, you're learning to take care of people. Their lives are at stake.
Yep.
You can't take on this task lightly. So I'm just stopping. That's another PSA today to say, hey, it's for you, right? If you want to be challenged, if you want to step up, right, and make a difference in the lives of others, then that LPN program is for you. But you have to take the extra step and apply. And it's rigorous and it's competitive. But we know you can do it. So come on out, accept the challenge, and be a part of the LPN program.
Absolutely. And I don't know if I've heard a shout out for this person yet or not, but shout out to Antonio Hearn. He has been the lead on this project, using these grant monies effectively. So shout out to him for all the hard work that he's put into this and his team. I know it's not just a one-person job. There's a lot of people who have contributed to it. So, but thank you, Antonio, for heading up this project. I think it's going to be really good for students in Bastrop, and maybe, eventually it can grow. You never know. Especially with our industry partners getting involved, it could only do good. So congratulations that this is getting such a good start. We're excited.
I know.
All right, so that's our news and upcoming.
Oh, Woo! Wow, that was it.
Yeah.
I thought we had another graphic. I was like,
I don't think so. I think we're good. Yeah, no, I am so proud of us. We got through it. Okay, that was our longest one. In case you missed it, we don't have a whole lot, so let's dive into it.
Yeah.
Keep it casual.
Record scratch. All right.
I love it.
That one never gets old.
It really does that. I just love the ending. It's just like, we're back to it. Okay. So last week we skipped, and I'm gonna take the heat on this. We skipped a Skills USA winner from LDCC. Actually, I won't take the heat because
you don't have to take the heat.
I think it was an error, and then it came out later that they got the silver medal. So our team got a silver medal.
Knowledge
and
Bowl, y'all.
I want the names are in the week at a glance. They are I think mostly West Monroe students with their nice blazers, but the Knowledge Bowl, they got silver medal. medal, represented LDCC well. I mean,
Yeah.
silver is second place, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's pretty dope. That's really awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how there was, I guess, a miscalculation in the event that had happened. But, hey, even though they couldn't get up on stage at that time, pride of the Knowledge Bowl silver medal comes home to LDCC, and we hope that we continue that tradition going forward. I want to say the advisor or the lead coach for that one was Misty Moore. I'm not exactly sure.
It was. I'm pretty. I'm like 100%
so kudos to her for preparing her group and for helping them to congeal and form a really strong team that complemented each other. And they did a great job. And silver, I mean, amongst everybody in the statewide for Knowledge Bowl, that's big time, y'all. I dare anybody to go and sit in front of an audience, sit in front of judges, and answer questions about anything. And not lose it or like they were well prepared, and they came out on fire and did a fantastic job. And congratulations again. This, just more great things. I feel like every single event we entered in Skills USA, we came up with something, or at least the vast majority of events we entered a team in, we got something, which is saying something.
It is.
It's setting the bar high. LDCC coming to, clean up every year.
I love it.
Yeah. So
I'm so
congratulations,
proud of us.
Knowledge Bowl team on a silver. Excellent work.
Shout out Misty. She sent me these pictures last night. She is the bomb. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thebomb.com. Speaking of PN and Bastrop as well, they had a PN interest meeting last week, during spring break. That way, high school students, if they were interested, different people could come out, maybe current students at LDCC who haven't decided on a track yet. They were able to come out, listen to some faculty and staff, and learn more about the program. They had a really great turnout. Do you see how full their big classroom is? That was a really great turnout. So,
yeah, it is.
Awesome work, and I'm glad somebody sent me these pictures so we could see everybody who's interested in PN at Bastrop.
Yeah, good stuff.
We also had our electric line worker cohort 3, y'all.
Wait, we're already on the third cohort?
The third cohort. It's workforce, so it's a 3-month course.
Wow.
Yeah, so I feel a special connection to this course. I'm not gonna lie to y'all because it's kind of the first kind of thing that I pushed out that, kind of on my own, kind of not, but like it felt like my baby a little bit, the promotion of it, right? The press releases and all that good stuff. I worked really heavily in all that. So I love this program. Dan, they call him Uncle Dan McCarty. He's fantastic, a great instructor. He bonds with his students, and I've gone to all of their, lineman completion ceremonies, and this is the third cohort already. So we are pushing out some electric line workers, and I cannot be more excited about it because it's solving an issue in our region. So this is photos of their first ascent, right? The first time they climbed the pole. So I always love these pictures. It's a fun time. It's really adventurous. I don't know if I could ever do it.
I was going to say, these guys are brave. For me to be even 4 feet off the ground is saying a lot. So these guys I know have to climb, 20 feet, 30 feet, however many feet.
Yes.
And they're brave souls, but we need them because when the natural disasters hit, when, things like that, I mean, we need folks that can come in and fix all the down power lines. What would we do without power, without electricity?
Exactly. Runs the world.
Exactly. So kudos to these guys that are learning the skill and the trade and are also brave enough to get up on those high beams.
Absolutely. Y'all are brave. I could never. I'd be freaking out. Oh my gosh. I can only imagine. This is another kind of like Skills USA, a little late contribution, but we wanted to shout out Winsboro, who sent in these pictures from Service Week 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
So they did two things. They went to Plantation Manor for bingo night and hung out with some of the residents there. And then they also went and did some bagging for the food bank, Chow Franklin.
Nice.
So they have their big group there who went. I see most of the Winsboro folks there, faculty and staff. So kudos to Winsboro. And thank you for sending me these pictures, Mary.
Yeah, definitely. When's the last time you played bingo?
Christmas 3 years ago.
Wow, you really remember.
I don't know how.
That was on the calendar.
That's not very like me at all.
I remember being young and like a kid and winning every bingo thing ever. And then when money was on the line, when I was older, an adult, it's like I couldn't even say buh. You know, it just wasn't gonna happen.
You couldn't say buh. You couldn't say oh. Like what is going on here?
Yeah, so I just play video games or something in the back corner and forget about it.
Yep. Yeah, it's so aggravating. You're like, I just need to spell bingo. Yeah, it gets harder whenever you're older, like most things.
Any bingo masters out there, please chime in the chat.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Ryan, you were here. You were in the moment at the Momentum Conference. You represented LDCC with this amazing group I see in front of me. Tell us every detail about it.
You know, to sum it up, really, I mean, and that's something I just said, like, we're not going to tell you every detail.
Nah.
No, it was 2 very full days of professional development. And not only did we have some great speakers that spoke to, that addressed everyone in the audience, to everyone at the conference, but then they had great breakout sessions. And our focus, mainly for our contingency that went down there, was curriculum redesign.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
The big picture for us at LDCC in the academic reigns is what can we do, and we're always asking ourselves this question, but what can we do to not only encourage participation and completion in our classes, but also, to foster community in the classes, to give students a sense of purpose in the classes, to allow them to feel like they're growing and that there's a growth mindset imparted upon them. So that's what we focused on, was GPS, growth mindset, purpose, and sense of belonging is the triad that we're going to try to push forward throughout all of our academic classes, because, we can recruit all day, numbers of students. And, there's students that are going to come to us, obviously, because LDCC appeals to them, right? For various reasons. But we're doing ourselves an even bigger favor the more students that we retain. And it's just so important that we focus on that retention effort, that we get students, give students every opportunity to be successful. You can't give away a grade, obviously, but what can you do to maintain rigor in the classes and yet still make it meaningful every step of the way for the students? And so that's what we were really focusing on, those course redesigns, so that we could, get ideas and be inspired to inspire the students, basically is the bottom line, and make them feel like they belong and they have a place for success. And success is really just a knock on the door, and just to, open that door and just let's dive in, to what we're doing in the classes. And so it's a two-way street, obviously. I mean, the students have to give effort and the faculty have to give effort. But it certainly is a benefit to have gone to Momentum 3 and to just have some new ideas, come to light. And subsequently, we're going to have some presentations on what we learned at the BTech mini conference. but that'll be later. So just know, if you really want to know what happened at Momentum, then you're going to come to the next professional development opportunity, which will be the BTech mini conference.
Shameless plug.
I want to say 16th. It's usually always on a Friday, surrounding food, right?
Yep.
So there'll be one big event on campus, on the Monroe campus, and then BTech mini conference will happen at the same day, usually in the morning. So yes, I'm saying it now. Should be May 16th if I've got my dates correct. And I'll continue to plug this forever and ever until it comes. If you want to be a speaker, reach out to me. I'll send out a form sometime soon, because, we'll be doing a call for speakers. There's limited spots available. You want to be a part of this, absolutely.
Awesome. Plugging the BTech mini conference.
Got to, man.
Yep.
That's our in-house, homegrown pro dev event.
He gets better and better at it every time it comes around.
Hey, last time we streamed it, right? So who knows what we're going to do? Maybe we'll stream it to the world, and it won't just be, to the internal folks. I mean, that's how good these presentations are. I mean, if you haven't come to one, you're missing out. Food, fun, fellowship, and learning.
Yeah.
Is there? Yeah, I got to get better with my alliteration.
You missed that last one.
Okay, I'll think about it.
We'll think about taglines.
ChatGPT, come on.
What
else we got?
That's it. We covered our Momentum conference. I will be motivating the masses here shortly.
Hey, look out.
We have a lot going on this week, so we're excited. But kudos all you. We had a lot of, in case you missed it, considering it was spring break last week. So stuff is always going on.
The work continues despite campus closures and whatnot, or
Correct.
even, school being out for some, hey, we keep rocking and rolling. That's what LDCC is all about. Just in case you missed it.
Yeah.
That's what LDC is all about.
There we go. Y'all, we're going to talk about some motivation, and then we'll let y'all go.
Notice that I didn't put that graphic up.
Well, notice that it says feature and not Monday Morning
I didn't
Motivation.
Even put it up, y'all, because I saw it and I was like, ooh.
We're going to need to start this over.
Boop. By the way, before this, Miss Vicky White chimes in. Thanks for listening, Miss Vicky, and says the Grill and Chill, that's our summer or late spring annual food event, where we all get together.
Yep.
The Grill and Chill is May 16th, and that's exactly why we do the BTEC mini conference on either the Christmas get together or the Grill and Chill get together, because we are almost guaranteed more people to come on in.
Yep.
They get a little learning in the morning time, and in the afternoon they get some food. So thank you, Miss Vicky, for saying something. But yes, it is purposely done that way because, hey, that's just what we need to do.
And shout out Miss Vicky. We all love Miss Vicky. She's one of those people who does a lot of the background work that keeps this college running.
Clutch.
So thank you for watching. I'm so glad Miss Vicky's
my heart's
tuned in.
warm. And you should chime in more often, Miss Vicky. Really, we appreciate you listening.
You got to keep it straight, Miss Vicky. Got to keep it straight.
All right.
Okay,
now we're going to get motivated.
Let's get into it.
Yes. I can't wait. Motivation time, y'all.
Let's do it. So I'm doing the Monday morning motivation. And this is kind of random. It's coming out of left field. I'm not even gonna lie. It a lot of times we try and tie it back to the things we were talking about on the podcast. Everything we talked about. But I actually do have something different that I kind of read about recently. So
you were reading. See, you said you weren't reading.
I was, but it's social media. It's not. It's not real reading. I have this app called Substack. I don't know if you've heard of it, but there's like a bunch of articles and stuff that comes up, and so it's kind of like social media for someone who's tired of social media, right? In our digital world. Who wants to read something real
now.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But I ran across this article called, I think it was called, "Do You Actually Have Friends?" And I was like, do I actually have friends? And
that's a good question.
It was a good hook, right? I was drawn in, and so I read the whole article, and it was talking, this is something that really spoke to me. It was talking about how lately friendships, often like in our personal lives, are just kind of like check-ins, right? So we always talk about how busy we are, how hard it is to get together with friends. Maybe you don't see them for a month, 3 months, And so whenever you get together, it's like, all right, give me the rundown. What's happened in your life? What is going on in your life? What's new, right? That question. And so the article was basically saying, you're not friends anymore. You're just dumping, updates, right? You're just updating each other. You're not necessarily friends anymore. And the article posed why. Like, why do you not consider, maybe this is somebody who you were friends with during school or college, but now you just keep up with each other. Right. And that's kind of all you do. You keep up with each other, but that's it.
Yikes.
So the article poses a solution though, right? And it said, it makes me ask this question: why did friendships used to feel closer? And it's because you were going through something with them, right? You were going through college together. You lived in a crappy dorm together. You were in a club together at school. You were on the same sports team at school. You were doing something together that really bonded you together through that experience. When I used to think of friendships, I used to think it would have to be somebody, that you could talk to, that you had good rapport with. That you could really have great conversations with. But I was also missing that piece of the experiences that bring you close to a friend as well. You have to experience things together to kind of get that solid bond. I don't know about you. I used to feel, and I still have very close friends, obviously, that I feel very close to, but I used to feel very close to certain people, that I feel like that closeness is harder to come by now, as an adult. So with that all being said, I think that's why they used to feel closer, because you were in something you were going through it with somebody, maybe they were your neighbor in a weird neighborhood or something, there's just a lot of, a lot of things that bring people
maybe
together.
got lost going trick-or-treating one night and you had to make it back home safely, and that bonded your friendship.
Exactly.
Right?
You know, maybe you snuck out and stole a car one night, you know, and
now, hold on now.
You stole your mom's car and you had to get it back, and it was a crazy adventure. Don't tell on yourself, Ryan.
Mrs. Price, do you hear the things that are coming out of your daughter's mouth? You stole a car.
Oh my gosh!
Okay. Stole a four-wheeler.
Grand Theft Auto. You know, that's something I can never ever own up to, because that didn't happen. But the point is of the article.
You know, I'm sorry, audience, that I've got stuck on that. But okay, anyway, go ahead, continue, Miss Price. Jake, man, you gotta,
if that is your real name,
marry, dude. Okay.
Anyway, the point of the article was that instead of just, you know, info dumping on your friends and considering that a relationship, you know, info dumping every 3 months and saying we're still friends, maybe, you know, it's important to find hard things to do together. Not just random things, but like difficult things, challenging things. Maybe once a year you and your friend do a marathon together. Or a half marathon.
Yeah, just make sure you train. Don't die on the course.
Don't die, you know. Yeah, maybe you train together. Maybe you like FaceTime in the mornings when you're training, you know, or maybe you both decide to go on a really hard hiking trail, you know, every couple of months together. Maybe you take a course together. Maybe you go do a pottery class for the first, you know, something challenging that bonds you together through an experience, and something that makes a memory. I don't know about you. I don't hold a lot of memories where I'm just, you know, talking to somebody when we're eating, you know, unless something funny happened or whatever. Right. You know, we're just info dumping on what's happening in our lives. That's not a memory to me.
Right. So that's the check-in time.
That's the check-in. Yeah. And there's a place for that. I'm not saying don't check in with your friends. I'm not saying that. But, you know, it's important when it comes to your friendship, that bond. You want to feel closer to somebody. Do something hard with them, you know, and something you both are interested in. Because having friends as an adult is hard, because we have families. Everything, you know, is them first for a really long time, and
your time is spoken for. Is really what it is most times. You know, whether you're grinding on the job, you know, and hopefully you're doing something that you love, you know, and that rewards you, and then you come home and it's like, okay, I got the domestic things to do, and then, you know, you're sleeping, you know.
Yeah, and then you go to sleep and you start over the next day.
And so you're right, taking time out for your friends. I think the act of intentionality, you know, to take time out to be with your friends is one thing. So that's when you can get a chance to talk and share time. But like you said, I agree wholeheartedly. I think, you know, when you're in school, you know, you're on a ball team or something like that, and you tried to win the championship with your, you know, that bonds you with your buddies, or, you know, things like that. There was a great challenge, you know, you went through in life. Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I will say, though, that I'll add to that by saying it wouldn't just be the challenges. You know, I remember 1 or 2 Super Bowl parties that, you know, I didn't host, but I went to, that got a whole bunch of friends together, a whole bunch of family together that I remember. I remember, you know, a 25th birthday party that I had that, you know, cousins I hadn't seen in forever. Yeah. You know, like I saw them. So it can be social events that allow us to reform bonds and things that are lasting memories. But to your point, again, it has to be probably something that is greater than just a general, you know, having coffee, you know, every now and then, to make sure those bonds remain strong. And so, yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I appreciate that article, because you're right. You know, what is the definition of a friend, and what makes a true friendship, you know, is debatable. Yep. Some people pride themselves on the fact that they can pick up right where they left off. Yeah. You know, and not having talked in months. But if you're looking for something that's more meaningful and that is more regular, and that you feel like you can really hold on to, that's lasting and that has teeth to it, you know, then definitely the experiences that you describe are important. Do a high ropes course, you know, and something that's gonna really, you're gonna remember for a long time. Yeah, I agree.
Cool beans. Yeah. That's what I got, y'all. That's the Monday morning motivation. So thank you all for tuning in. Our chat was popping today.
Yeah. And actually, I want to say, you know, kudos to everybody that chimed in. To get people to stop what they're doing in the midst of the workday and listen in. Some folks I know are maybe driving in. But I know this is going to sound like a low number, but for us it's big. It's 25 views during this hour. That's amazing. Actually a lot.
Yeah.
That's 25 of you that stopped what you were doing and at least had us on 26 now, at least in the background.
Yep.
And we've kept about 10 concurrent throughout the whole thing. I know that sounds like low numbers, but y'all, that's huge for us.
It really is.
10 people that just kind of kept us on, maybe turned us up every now and then turned us down as you answered the phone or you checked an email or whatever. That means the world to us. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we hope that we're keeping you entertained and keeping you informed, and we hope to continue to do so.
Absolutely. And in that same vein, if there's ever, something different you want to see on the Morning Blend, if there's maybe something you'd like to see more of, something you'd like to see less of, just let us know. We want to improve the show. This show is for y'all. I mean, it really is. Mm-hmm. That was the vision from the very beginning. So let us know, hey, is there too much of this, not enough of this? Just email me, send me a Teams message. Get us your ideas. We're not married to any one idea, right? So thank y'all for tuning in. That means that is awesome.
All right.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. So I hope everybody has an amazing week this week, and make sure that take care of yourself. It's going to be very busy,
yes.
But we're all here for you, and y'all have an amazing week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.